But I really feel like just saying, like, just do everything Joe said this morning, and that's enough, which was brilliant. But something else that I want to say about Joe, one of the great things about Minneapolis was we got to share with each other, and I was enjoying my shows fine up until obviously Minneapolis, but Joe shared a few tips there as well, and the wee game that I played at the very, very end, if we have time for it, I have to give credit to Joe because, and I'm loving it, it's really made a big difference even to my shows even since in the last month, so thank you Joe for that. And my show is usually an hour and a half, maybe a wee bit more, but so I have just under an hour here now. So basically what I'm going to do is do my intro, then just put in whatever products I can. I always at my show do the 5 that are in the kit. Those are the big sellers, those are the ones I always cover, and then I do a couple of just others and make these different in every show. And then I go into my close. So I felt it was probably better to do my opening, do my close, and just see what products we get in the middle. I mean, the guys did a brilliant job of the new products this morning, so you know what to say about those. There's no point in repeating. Okay, so let's go. Okay, ladies, well, I think we're all ready to go tonight. Thank you all very much for coming along, and I especially want to thank Rhoda for inviting me along tonight. She was at Angela's show. I met her at Angela's show just about a month ago, and I'm glad, Rhoda, that you enjoyed the evening, and thank you for inviting all your friends here tonight. It really is a privilege for me to be here, and I really appreciate all of you coming as well. My name is Karen McConnell, and I'm from Portadown, married to Ivor, and I have 3 girls. Iona's 16, and Trinity's 12, and Winona is 11. My little baby, he's not a baby anymore. But so I teach as well. I teach a couple of days a week, and then I also do Norwex. So now I'd like to tell you a little bit about how I come to be standing here tonight, and how I heard about Norwex. But just while I'm telling you that story, what I'm actually going to do first is I'm just going to give you some hand cream, okay? Because really, the hand cream kind of sums up everything that Norwex is about. I mean, who here hasn't been to a show before? I know there's a few ladies that have, I've obviously met. Very good, just the 2, yeah. And so basically the hand cream sums up Norwex, and I'll tell you why in a wee minute or two. But while I tell you about myself, if you just pass it round, put a wee bit just on the back of your hand or whatever and rub it in and take a good smell, for it smells lovely too. I'll let you do that while I just chat here. But so just to say, I have been in direct sales now for about 12 years. I'm going to kind of face this way too, because sorry for all the ladies over there, both those lights. So I have been in direct sales for 12 years now, and I started in direct selling when my family was little. I was only 4 back then, and Trinity was 10 months, and Winona was a 3-month bump. And I really wanted to cut down my teaching a bit and be at home with them a bit more during the day. So I previously did The Pampered Chef. I'm sure some of you have maybe heard of that. And I did that for 11 years. Really loved it, really enjoyed it, loved getting out and meeting people. Had a lovely team, really loved that side of it as well. And but sadly, just last year, they had to leave the UK. And it kind of left me with thinking, well, what am I going to do now? And I knew that I wanted to find something else in direct selling and party plan, because I just enjoyed the flexibility of that so much, and just enjoyed, even though the girls have now grown up, you know, it just gave me the flexibility to do the things that I wanted to do, and to still work around my teaching. And I teach a couple of days a week and do this. So I was approached by Norwex and asked would I consider it. Oh, of course you want to know, well, what is it? And I was told it was about cleaning. I thought, you joking? Cleaning? When I hear cleaning, why would I want to have anything more to do with cleaning than I have to? And why would I want to ruin ladies' nights, asking them to come out and listen to something about cleaning? So at first I have to say, I just thought, no, I'll find something else. There's maybe something else out there. And but I was told, like, just take a closer look at the products. And I was actually sent a link of a show like this taking place in Canada. And I have to say, girls, it was not very long until I thought, wow, I actually really love what Norwex is about. It's not really about cleaning at all. So I don't know what you thought tonight. Maybe you thought you were coming to clean Rhoda's house from top to bottom, but sorry Rhoda, they're not going to do that. But it wasn't about cleaning at all, and I just was blown away, to be honest. I just thought, look, I would really love these products in my own home. And I just thought, well, look, I'll try this, and if it doesn't go well or nobody wants it, well, at least I'll have the products in my home. And I decided to give it a wee go. So back in December, just kind of wound down the Pampered Chef and started up with Norwex. And tonight is actually, I think, show number 67 since then, because it has just took off like wildfire. It has just been amazing. So I hope that you'll enjoy tonight too. And if you were kind of thinking, what is this I'm coming to? I hope that you'll think that it was worth your while coming, and I certainly appreciate you being here. So we're going to start off with our flagship. Oh no, I'll talk about the hand cream that he's just passed around there. So what do you think it smells like? Yeah, peachy. Well, I think it's like chocolate orange. Chocolate orange is what it kind of reminds me of, chocolate orange. But really, the reason I passed it around was you probably noticed the packaging. It's all recyclable material there. And Norwex is all about, first of all, reducing the chemicals in your home. I have a little card here about radically reducing, somewhere here, radically reducing the chemicals in your home, which we'll talk about in just a second, but also about looking after the wider environment too, and taking care of the world that God has given us, and just making sure it's there for generations to come. So the packaging is all recyclable, and then inside the hand cream, there's none of the baddies. Okay, now I have to confess that 6 months ago I didn't know what the baddies were. I didn't even know there were really baddies. I kind of thought that, your bleach or things like that, obviously you want to keep them away from your kids and they're not terribly safe and you don't want to be breathing them in, but bar a couple of things like that, I really thought my home was okay. And didn't realise that there were all these things called triclosan and parabens and SLSs and dioxin, and I don't know if you've heard of any of those. I hadn't, and I certainly did not realise that the harm that they can do to you. But we'll talk about those as the night goes on. So I really want to hand around the hand cream because basically it sums Norwex up. Looking after the environment and allowing you to use products in your home that are safe and are safe for your kids as well, and don't have any of the harmful chemicals in them. But of course it smells nice too and everything else. So you've got the plus, and that's what I'm really finding with Norwex, because we still want to clean our home and we still want to have lovely personal care products, but we wonder, well, what's the alternative? And Norwex is really providing that alternative, which is brilliant. And what I also find is, and you'll hear about this as the night goes on, it's amazingly saving me money and time at home as well. So it's a kind of a win-win with everything, okay? Now, so I'm going to play a little game as the night goes on too, and this is just to keep you awake, alright, and to keep you interested too. And I know that some of you had a bit of a long journey to come here today, so this is just to add a little bit of fun to the night. But I always give away a ticket first of all for the person who travelled the furthest to get here tonight. So who do we think that was actually? It must be, I think Selena. Selena, where are you from then? County Monaghan, all the way from Ireland. Brilliant, thank you. Well, we can't beat that, I don't think, so thank you for making the effort to come here tonight, Selena. And I also always reward the person who got here first. So who arrived first tonight? Was that you, Lynn? Yes, well there you go, there's a ticket, okay. And 2 last tickets. Did anybody here tonight, I'm sure Rhoda encouraged you to maybe bring a friend with you. So did anybody actually do what Rhoda said, invited somebody? Oh, Angela, yes? You brought Grace. Well, Angela, thank you so much for doing that, and Grace for coming. Thank you, really appreciate it. Now, girls, you're going to want to get tickets as the night goes on, because at the end I'm going to play a little game to allow you to win some free products. Okay, so the more tickets you have, the more likely you are to win a free product. Okay, so now we're going to start with our flagship product. And I always start with this, which is our Enviro cloth, okay? And I'll let you pass one round so you can feel that as I'm talking, alright? And really, if you kind of get the technology that's going on in the Enviro cloth, well then you'll get all the rest of the products, okay? You'll understand what's happening. I've just realised I left a big bit out that I've never left out in 66 years. Did you know that there's more than 80,000 brand new 80,000 chemicals have been introduced in the last 50 years, and all those supermarket shelves, all the products that you have on the shelves, over the last 50 years, 80,000 chemicals, all those names in the backs of the bottles that did not exist 50 years ago, and only 200 of them have actually been tested for human safety. And so Norwex, as I say, is all about making awareness of those things and helping you to cut out those chemicals as well. I always put that in, so I don't know why that left me tonight, but anyway. So we'll get back to the cloth. So the EnviroCloth. I'm sure you all have microfiber in the home, yeah? Yep. And because I had loads of microfiber cloths as well. So I want to tell you why this one is different. Norwex actually is the leading technology in microfiber cloths. It's been going for 22 years now. It started in Norway. And it's actually massive in America, and Canada, and Australia, and New Zealand as well. In fact, it's the fastest growing direct selling company in America at the minute. So there are three things that really make this cloth different from all the other cloths that you will buy in the supermarket shelf or whatever. The first one is the microness of the fibres in the cloth, because there's microfiber and then there's Norwex microfiber, okay? And there is a vast difference. And if you are buying an ordinary cloth, just to put it into some kind of perspective, an ordinary cloth that you buy in the supermarket, it'll, just realising I'm standing in one spot and probably half of you can't see me most of the time, but if you buy an ordinary cloth, okay, and the manufacturers want to call it a microfiber cloth, the minimum stipulation that they have is that you has to be at least 1/6 of a hair fine, the fibres, okay? So if it's not 1/6 of a hair fine, you cannot call it a microfiber cloth, okay? But Norwex's cloths are way, way, way finer than that. So would anybody like to try and guess, just pick a number greater or smaller than 1/6 of how fine the fibres in a Norwex cloth might be? Anybody like to guess? Somebody here even wasn't at a show before. Just shout out, just shout out.
1/10?
1/10? No, higher than that.
100?
Higher, higher.
No. I totally do.
You told her.
1/200.
1/200, great, yes, that's right. We tell them all about the stuff on the way up the road, Angela. Good for you, good for you. No, Angela really could be getting up here and doing this herself. Grace, isn't she? I'm sure she explained the colours really well. So we'll be chatting to you about that later, Angela. And but yes, 1/200 of a hair fine. Okay. Now the question is, so what? So what if they're 1/6, or so what if they're 1/200? Well, if the fibres are microscopically small like that, 1/200 of a hair fine, it means that they can pick up microscopic things, such as bacteria, okay? So with your cloth, with just water, you can pick up anything off your work surfaces. All the bacteria, whether there was raw meat in the work surface, or whether you're using it in the bathroom and you're cleaning the toilet seat, or whatever it is, you know that you can get it clean with just water, okay? So what does that mean? It means you don't need to use the sprays, which you're then breathing in. You don't need to use the wipes, which you're then spreading chemicals on your work surface that you're maybe eating off later on, or your kids are touching and so on. And you're not then needing to spend the money on those things, because they all add up. And I really have to say, we were big wipes people in my home, and I just use wipes for everything. And the cloths it really does not take very long before they pay for themselves. I mean, this cloth here is $12.49, and you think of packets of wipes after packets of wipes after packets of wipes, very quickly the cloth will definitely have paid for itself. And you do have a 2-year guarantee at least with your cloths. I mean, you'll get far, far longer out of them if you look after them, proper care instructions, but even if you only got the 2 years, you know, that's still fantastic. So you're also then not throwing away those wipes. And as I say, we'll talk about later on how Norwex is very much about looking after the environment, because all those wipes, they have to go somewhere and they don't break down, and that causes a major problem. And then the plastic bottles that the sprays and all are in as well, okay? So first of all, 1/200 of a hair fine, so you can clean every surface with just water. Secondly then, is the density of the cloth. I'm sure you noticed as you passed it round, you know, the cloths are very thick. And a lot of microfiber cloths that you have at home, you probably can hold them up and the light can get through them or whatever, but these cloths, that microfiber, that fineness of the hair has been woven and woven and woven in a very special way, that the cloth is really, really dense. And that means that you can actually clean and clean and clean and keep cleaning. I mean, that's what I love about them. Like if I was going to do windows or something like that, you know, you're constantly going back, wringing it out, and you've got your little bucket of water with you, whatever it is. Whereas with this cloth, just wet it and away you go, and you will just clean and clean and clean. Is there anybody here has the cloths themselves?
No, I have them. I got the Angela's party.
Or you got loads of stuff at Angela's party. Really. Yeah, it's pointless. It's pointless. yeah, absolutely. And how you find your clothes?
Absolutely brilliant. Just clean anything and everything effortless. Just lovely.
Yeah. And Carol, you have them there
Well,
too?
I'm just using for the windows, and I remember I have a wish list now, so I
Oh,
order a few.
okay, yeah. So yeah, that's the problem, Carol, isn't it? When you have one cloth, yes, and you're maybe thinking, right, that's my window cloth. You really need far more, don't you? Well, that's why they come in the different colours, Carol. We'll have the blue one that you've passed around, and the green one, and there's a grey one somewhere about here. Yeah, grey, and there's also a red one, and then it means you can colour code. So you can have one for the windows, one for the bath, and one for the kitchen. It's called the rainbow package. So so that might be something that interests you, Carol. Then you'll have a cloth for every room in the house, because you do need one, don't you? Well, once you get one, you get a little bit obsessed, and you realise you need far more of these, which is brilliant. So they will clean and clean and clean. Anything you want to clean, bathroom, whatever, they'll clean it. The third thing about the cloths is they have something very special inside them, and that most other cloths do not have. And it's something that bacteria doesn't like, something that bacteria can't grow on. So if anybody who hasn't been to a party before, have you any idea what that substance might be? Grace? Silver? And let me guess, how did you do that? And so you on the way up, yes, that's right. Well, did I give you your other ticket for the other else? I did, yep.
Thank you.
And for telling her. Actually, you got enough for your last party. And thank you, girls, for sharing about your clothes. Appreciate that. So yes, Grace. So there's silver in it, and what the silver does is it inhibits bacterial growth within your cloth. Now, don't get the wrong idea. The silver is not cleaning your benches for you. Okay, it's the fibres that do that. The fibres lift the bacteria off your bench. Okay, and leave your bench safe. And if you've really nothing else to do some night, Google the chicken test online, and you'll see a lady actually where she swabs the surface with raw chicken, and then she wipes it down with a cloth, and you can see before and after just how the bacteria has been lifted off. And it's the same with your toilet seat and whatever. But with the silver being in it, what it means is that you can use your cloth longer than you would maybe use an ordinary dishcloth, okay? Because for me at home, I didn't use dishcloths. The reason I used wipes all the time before I met Norwex was because I just hated a smelly, horrible, yucky dishcloth. It was just kind of breeding there on me. But now that I have my Norwex cloth, the one that I would use for just the benches and the worktops in the kitchen, if I rinse it out when I've done with it and hang it up to dry on a hook or over a rail or over a radiator or whatever, then the bacteria gets to work, or the silver, gets to work, and the bacteria cannot grow near it. It doesn't like it. Have any of you heard of silver being used anywhere else apart from in cloths?
Your bandages and things. In the
Yes,
hospital.
exactly, in hospitals and things, and wound dressings, because again the bacteria can't grow there. So if you rinse your cloth out well and hang it up to dry, it's not getting smelly like an ordinary dishcloth does, okay? And you can use it for much longer. Now if it gets stained and you've wiped up ketchup or stuff like that, wash it whenever you want to, that's not a problem, absolutely not. But now I would say, if you've done a heavily ridden bacteria job, like if you had raw meat, or if you've used one to clean the toilets and whatever, just pop it in the wash afterwards, because if there's a lot of bacteria there, you're better just to wash it straight away. But your daily kind of jobs, or if you've gone and done the window, or you've cleaned the car with it, or you've cleaned the front of the cooker, stuff like that, just rinse it out and it's ready to go again, which is how do you wash them? We're going to come to that actually in a wee minute or two, and we're going to talk about that. But basically, you just put it in the machine, and you can use your ordinary powder if you want to. Okay, I will tell you about Norwex's powder later on. But if you just want to get clothes tonight, you don't have to get Norwex's washing powder. You can just go home and you can wash them in your ordinary washing powder as well. So just basically wash them like you would wash anything else. But I'll talk about that in a minute or two in a bit more detail, okay? With that. So now we want to see them in action, girls, okay? And actually see what sort of a job they do. So as I said, we're not going out to clean Rhoda's whole house here, okay? But I have brought along a few windows with me. And we're just going to smear them with butter, okay? A bit more on that than I would usually use. I usually have it in the wee butter jet, and then I rub it on. Okay, pretty up there. Let's try and make them both about the same. I do put quite a lot on at my show, it's just not quite as much as that, but it's a bit excessive there. Okay, and where's my glass? Okay, so what we're going to do, girls, is I'm going to get one of you to actually just clean a window with an ordinary cloth and just see how you get on, okay? And then I'm going to clean one with a Norwex cloth, and just so you see the difference in it. Now I will then, well, let me ask you first of all, if you're cleaning your windows at home, what's your normal kind of little ritual? What do you normally do?
Cloth and vinegar.
Vinegar, brilliant, Carol, vinegar, and that's all natural and not harmful to the environment. It's not something I have ever tried, but that's quite popular.
I would like a ticket, please. I use
okay.
Mr. Muscle and lots of kitchen roll to wipe it on.
Okay. So Mr. Muscle, obviously chemicals there, and a lot of chemicals, and kitchen roll, girls.
Very liquid.
Very liquid, okay. Can I just tell you about kitchen roll? Do you realise that in Europe alone, in one day, to maintain our kitchen roll habit, it takes 21,000 trees to be cut down for one day's kitchen roll. So for me, now I still have kitchen roll in my kitchen, and there's a very odd time that I will now go and grab it. But the difference for me is I used to grab it all the time, and I was just taking a big wad and wouldn't really be thinking about it. And what Norwex has done for me is it has helped me just be more conscious of what I'm doing at home and just cut things down, because the trees, I mean, God didn't just put them there to give us oxygen, they also take in toxins as well. You know, there is, and they do us good as well, and the more trees we're cutting down, it's obviously not good for the environment either. So just think about that even when you're at home, girls, use less kitchen roll. But a lot of people do, Carolyn. So what we're going to do tonight is one of the windows, when you've cleaned it with the ordinary cloth, you're going to buff it off with kitchen roll, because that is what most people do. Now, Selena, you mentioned, I gave you tickets, Selena, you mentioned fairy liquid, didn't you? Now, have you ever read the back of your fairy liquid bottle? No, neither had I, so I'm not surprised. But can anybody who's at a show before, can you remember what it says on the back of a fairy liquid bottle?
I do remember you mentioned it's harmful to aquatic life or something. It's really bad for fish.
Yeah, harmful to aquatic life with long-lasting effects. I mean, that's what it actually says on the back of the bottle. So, and one day again, another little interesting fact, and by the way, I knew none of this 6 months ago, but just you do get a lot of help and a lot of training and lots of webinars, and you know, I just find it quite fascinating actually when you take it all in. But in one day alone, worldwide, 56 million pounds worth of chemicals are washed down the drain. 56 million pounds worth. Down the dishwashers, down the washing machines, down your showers, and fairy liquid, a lot of them are like that. They go down into the water system, and even though the water's filtered that we, take back to drink, that's a whole other debate as to how safe that is. But the vast majority of it just goes out into the lakes and the rivers, and that's why our lakes and rivers are polluted, and so we really want to cut down on trying to use things like that as well. So, but Rhoda, you got that right, didn't you? So there's no we take it for you. So, okay, well, who hasn't got a ticket yet? Anybody not got a ticket yet? No? Okay, well then who would like to clean a window? I'll give you the one with the less butter on it, just so that you think it's not a fix, okay? So this one doesn't have just as much. So Grace, yeah, okay, so you nurse that, Grace. And we're going to give you an ordinary kind of cleaning cloth, okay? And Rhoda will maybe hold your kitchen roll for you. Now don't start yet, okay? Just give me a chance, give me a minute. And I'm going to clean mine with Norwex cloth, and then I'm going to take its belly. Okay, so this one's called the Enviro cloth. Think E for everything. It cleans everything in your home. And I would usually use it wet, and I'm going to use it wet to clean the butter off. But then anything I want to polish or buff up or get shiny, like taps or the front of a cooker or a big shiny fridge or granite work surface, well then you come behind with the purple one. Think purple for polishing. It's actually called the window cloth because obviously it's amazing for windows, but you can use it for anything in the home that you want to polish up, okay? The two together for showers and things like that are just absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to clean with my Norwex one and clean with the Enviro one and polish with the purple one. And Grace, you're going to go with those ones, okay? And we're just going to see the difference in the two effects, okay? So, okay, right. Are we ready? Okay, and go. Come on, Grace. My words are not quite as big as this one. You working up a sweat there, Grace? Yes. Well, notice that I'm not. I'm just having fun, okay? Just try not to drop Sue's words.
It's okay.
Your big wings.
See, that's why I have bingo wings, because it's so effortless. Okay, well, I think I'm done. Happy with that? Nice and streak free. And how's yours doing, Grace?
Well,
Oh goodness, yeah. Okay, so you can see the difference there, can't you? You see all the white smeariness on Grace's mirror and the clearness of mine, okay? So I'm going to give you back, Grace. I'm going to give you the Norwex claws now, and you can see how you can get it off. And what you'll notice as well, Grace, is all that butter, there's quite a bit on it. It's nowhere to be found. The cloth just holds so much. I mean, you really can just keep going and going and going. I actually was doing a craft fair not that long ago, and I brought the claws to the craft fair. 9 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock at night, I cleaned butter and butter and butter and butter. Must have cleaned about 60 mirrors throughout the day. And about lunchtime, it kind of dawned on me, you know what, I never brought any more water to rinse my cloths out. I don't have any other cloth to kind of use. And I really was thinking, will the cloth keep going all day? But it did. Right to 5 o'clock, it just kept cleaning. The same cloth just kept cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And there's your polisher, Angela, thank you. And another ticket for you. So you can give her that when she's done, Angela. Oh, I think she nearly is done, isn't she? Yeah. So what do you think of that?
Some difference.
Yes, some difference, yeah. Brilliant, thank you very much. Okay, so nice and clear now with her Norwex claws. So girls, that's just how it works, and you can see there how the Norwex one doesn't leave anything behind. It's lifting everything. Obviously I can't show you the bacteria here tonight, but it's the same principle. Your other claws will leave stuff behind, and your Norwex one will lift one. Thanks. Now I'm going to just talk about, if we're thinking about your main cleaning jobs at home, I mean obviously you want to clean all your surfaces, whatever, your windows and so on. The other thing that you really want to do, obviously, if the visitors are coming. My husband always knows when the visitors are coming, because that's the only time that I start dusting. But it's the dusting, and we have an amazing little dusting mitt. Same idea, 1/200th of a hair fine, but a deeper pile. And that just means it really holds on to the dust. That's the beauty of it. So if you're dusting and you're going over window frames and around things, whatever, you're lifting ornaments and things, it's really, really handy on your hand, but it's also actually taking the dust away. It's not just spreading it about, okay? And I just heard recently, actually, I can't even remember, it was some newspaper article or something, where the dust in your home, actually it attracts, the other chemicals and things that are floating about in the air. So if you can actually take the dust out, you're not only removing the dust, but you're removing, any other chemicals that are lurking there in the air as well, which is great. So just, once you've done the dusting, then you just go pat it at the window, out the door, whatever, and you're actually putting the dust outside. So it really is so much better for everybody's health in the home, especially if you're somebody who's asthmatic or anything like that. And then just again, pop it in the machine whenever you want to wash it, Now my little Winona, she's my duster at home. That's what she gets her pocket money for. So she loves the kids' mitt. Well, I shouldn't say she loves the kids' mitt. She loves how it helps her. She doesn't enjoy dusting, but she knows she has to do it. And she loves the mitt because it gets it done quicker and faster and whatever. But the other thing I'm also loving about it is, Norwex do have, children's products in the catalogue. And I'm really finding my girls, they wouldn't think of using a polish or using a spray or whatever, and it's lovely just to even, that's the thing I'm just loving, that they're coming up in that generation, and they never see now, me using all of those things, and they're getting used to, just doing these wee jobs around the house with not any chemicals either. And so there is some lovely kid stuff there too. So anybody have the duster?
oh, I have this.
Yeah, I have the duster. What do you think of your duster, Angela?
I love it. I actually got 2 for posting. I got 2 of them, one in the package and one in the first star. And I love the 2 because you can go along the 2 and you can lift your photo frame.
Oh, 2, yeah. Oh, and not get
you can
fingerprints.
pause the
Yeah,
fingerprints
brilliant, yeah. And new stairs, Rhoda, you probably find
Oh, they're absolutely brilliant going down the stairs.
and the banisters and everything, yeah. So just really, really high, big black TV screens, just to lift it all away. But the real beauty is, girls, if you're like me, and you want to not dust as often, or Winona, she now finds that she loves it because when she's done the dusting, it's ages before she has to dust again, because you're taking that dust away. So it really cuts down your time, it really, really does, and does it quicker and everything as well. And you'll see in the catalogue later on, I'll show you, the 2 claws that we use there, they're called the basic package because they're the 2 basic cleaning things in the home. But you can add other things in, and you save you money. These packages in the back of the catalogue, which we'll come to, and if you add the dust in and the 2 claws, you're saving about £4 or £5 there, which is great, you know. Now we'll have to move on to the mop. Okay. Now where is it hiding? It was down here. Hold on, let's see. It's not 20 minutes left. All right. Oh my goodness. Right. Okay. Right, the mop. Right, the mop system, as it is known. Okay, this is just absolutely fantastic, and you. Now I've forgotten what I'm going to say because I'm thinking about the time now. But all the stuff you adjust it to your height, and you do what Alex did earlier on, and you've got the 2 pads, and I just talk about it replacing your Hoover and all of that there. I was going to get poor Rhoda to talk about about her mop and how fantastic it was, but there's plenty of YouTube videos on the mop and stuff like that, so I think you probably know what to say about the mop. I really use it as a booking tool. Sorry, I'm kind of digressing here, but with time going, I use it as a booking tool because I just talk about how fantastic it is. I do, as Joe says, I talk about the price. So I say, so ladies, each individual bed is, you know, £20-25, or you can get it as a whole for £90. And but really, a lot of my ladies, if they really want the mop, they'll host a show and they'll get it for free. You know, that's the best way to get it. And if you can't host a show, you know, you can even, you know, buy one bit one show and another bit another show. But it really is an investment. And I have met a lady at my shows who's from Korea, and she had the mop for 6 years. I thought, how do you have it? How do you have it for that long? And her daughter's from New Zealand, and every time her daughter comes home from New Zealand, she brings her a little bit more of Norwex. So she says, I have the mop, and I just absolutely love it. So it will last you for years, you know, if you look after it, okay? And just, sorry, that was the mop in minor detail. We do talk about the EnviroWand and all the rest of it and everything else. So sorry about that. And I do say the dusting pad is like the Met, and I say that the wet pad is like your EnviroCloth and the silver and the no smell and all that there, okay? But we'll move on to the washing powder because it's a big seller. So girls, I just want to talk about the use and the care of your cloths. So some don't put them in with really fluffy items, because if they go in with really fluffy items, then all the fluff can catch on them or whatever. And also, don't put them in with fabric conditioner. Now for me that was a big thing. What? No fabric conditioner? Because I love fabric conditioner. I love the smell of it. That was my air freshener in the home and everything else. When I was first told that, I thought, oh, that's going to be a real pain. I have to wash my clothes separately from all my other clothes. And then I was told, no, Karen, the whole idea is you cut fabric conditioner out altogether. I thought, you've got to be joking. But I was, you know, again, I was encouraged, well look, the smell is just breathing in chemicals. And I did look it up then, and I could see what these chemicals do to you. I mean, so many of the chemicals in your products, they mess with the endocrine system in your body, and you know, the chemical imbalance in your body, which leads on to so many problems. 1 in 4 of the different diseases that we suffer from today are at least in part attributed to the chemicals we're exposed to. And that can be from asthma and skin disorders, right through to cancers. And I sadly have met, you know, people at my shows who have come to me at the end and have said, absolutely Karen, my husband was diagnosed with cancer, and he's been told to go home and cut out all the chemicals in the home, because the chemicals can exacerbate and make those diseases more aggressive and so on, you know. So there's so many you know, different things that they cause different problems. But the washing powder, I just want to talk about it very quickly, because what you'll not find in the washing powder is the whole list of things here. No phosphates, no sulfates, no chlorine, no dyes, and no fillers. Now, does anybody know what fillers are? Well, it's just as the name suggests. Fillers are there to bulk out your washing powder. So all the other washing powders that you buy, and I mean all, because I have tested virtually every washing powder at my shows now, they all have fillers in them, and it's just there to kind of fool you really. It just bulks out your powder and makes you think that you have more than you have. And what I want to just show you is I have a couple of other washing powders. I have Fairy Non-Bio, which is what I always used to use at home because my husband would have itchy skin, and if we didn't have Fairy, he had problems. So we're going to put some of that in, just what you put in a normal wash. And this one here is E-Cover, which is chemical-free one that you can get in the supermarket. And I'm not disputing it's chemical-free. If that's what they say, that's what they say. But it certainly isn't filler-free. And the thing is, these fillers, what they do is they clog up your machine, and they clog up, you know, the gunk in the drawer, and then they go into the environment and they don't dissolve and wash away. And there really is just no need for them. So we're going to put them, we've mixed them in the water here, And then I'm going to put some Norwex in. Now will you see how much Norwex you need in one wash? 40-degree wash, 8-kilogram machine, half a scoop for most washes. Now unless it's a really dirty wash like farmer's clothes, mechanics, you could go up to full scoop if you wanted. But that is it. Does anybody here already have the washing powder? Yeah, a couple of you. And what do you think of it, Selena?
At the start now, I was kind of a bit, took me a bit of while getting used to it, but I have to say, amazing. It's been life changing for my family because I have one little boy suffers terribly with bad eczema, and literally we ran to doctors, allergy specialists throughout the years and just could never ever get to the bottom of it. And literally from making the change from my very non-bio to my Norwex, within 10 days his skin completely cleared.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing that,
Yeah,
Selena. That's fantastic to hear. And you're not the only one. I do have, this is one of my biggest sellers, repeats, orders. And I have several ladies, coming back, and it's because it's better for their children's skin because you don't have all the chemicals and the harmful things in it. So I'm going to let those sit, and you will see how the Norwex one will dissolve, and you'll see how the other ones don't, and the gunk on them. But the one last thing just to say about the washing powder as well, apart from the fact that it cleans, so you find it cleans fantastically, yes, it cleans really well. There is a stain remover if you feel you have really stubborn stains like blood or grass or things like that as well. But the price, because obviously washing powder is something we're buying on a regular basis, but the fantastic news is wash per wash, it's cheaper than your ordinary brands, which is brilliant. All your dyes, your gold, all of those things, if you buy the big family box to be as economical as possible, 65 washes, £15 is generally what you spend on it. This little bag here will do 80 washes on average, and it's $18.99. So when you do the maths, wash per wash, it isn't any dearer. And then, as well as that, because there's no fillers in this, fillers is what makes your clothes hard and crunchy. And then what do? You go out and you buy fabric conditioner to soften them. And so when you're not buying the fabric conditioner anymore, and you also need far less stain remover. I mean, I was a big Oxy fan and a big Vanish fan, don't need any of that anymore. So I actually find my washing powder saves me money. So it's cheaper, it washes clothes really well, there's no chemicals, it's not destroying my machine. And there was one other thing, and it's left me. Oh, forgot what it is. But anyway, sorry. Don't normally forget, but whatever it was, I can't remember. It's totally gone black. But anyway, it's fantastic, and and it's no dear. So we've got the little tubs, and we'll come back to those. Right. Normally, what I do, girls, is I would talk about Blue Diamond and the penny, okay. And then I give away other prizes, like I'll talk about some of the personal care products in the 26 seconds, and then I'll hide this, and then later on I'll ask them how many seconds was it gets into your skin and things like that, which I'm going to have to leave out. I'll talk about the plastics and the plastic basin, the big thing in the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. And that really is a big shocker for people, how bad the plastic is in the oceans and how 50 years time the oceans will be worse. So I bring all of that in. I bring that in when I talk about the plastic bottles, and I talk about air freshener and things like that. The fact that you dilute this 1 to 7, so therefore you're only throwing away 1 bottle instead of 7 bottles. And I talk about the price again, the fact that it's $11.99, which 7 bottles of Febreze or whatever will cost you, so it's not any dearer. The same with the Blue Diamond, it might be £22, but it's 10 bottles of bleach and all of that there. So you want to bring in the money side, the value for money, you want to bring in the plastics and all of those things. And I'm sorry, but time is gone on that. I'm just going to jump to my clothes, but there would have been another half an hour to 40 minutes in there, okay? Okay, so what I do, sorry, just before the close in, when I've done those main products, I say to them, look girls, there's so many other things that I could share with you tonight, but I can't share everything, time doesn't permit. But there's 17 other categories of products in the catalogue. So that would be things like the baby products, car products, dog products, And I will say to them, if you pick 2 numbers between 1 and 17, I will talk about those 2 tonight, and then you'll have to go to another show to hear about some of the rest of them. Because you want them looking for more. They think, gosh, there's 15 other things that we haven't heard about. Yeah, we'll have to go to another show to hear all of those. So I use this little list, and they pick numbers, okay? So we're just going to jump to the end. How many minutes have we got left? 5. Oh my goodness. Okay, right, so at the end I will say, okay girls, I hope you've really enjoyed tonight. And I just want to tell you, if you'd like to have an evening of your own, just how that works for you. First of all, obviously, you invite your friends round, and I would just really love to come and just share Norwex with your friends. I mean, there's no obligation to buy anything here tonight. You know, you just go home, cut down on the bleach and all the things that we have talked about. And if you're cleaning those showers, remember your feet absorb those chemicals, so at the very least go home and put on welly boots or something like that. But if you would like to have a show yourself, Norwex do really reward you as well. Because they want you to get off to a really good chemical-free start in your home, and they want you to have a good selection of products that you can do that. So what I do then, girls, again, there isn't time, I'm afraid, but I stack the host. If you've heard of that's where I basically go through and I say, you know, right, if Angela's going to do a show, so if Angela was going to do a show and she had 5 friends round and 5 orders, first of all she would get rewarded with a window cloth, and then if she's the next order she get the body cloth, and I will have talked about the body cloths because I love those, so they would have been covered in the show at some stage. So we're saying you get 3 body cloth, and then 10 orders the mitt, and so on and so on. Then I say, and if you then get to pick things that you'd like yourself, so you get a percentage of the sales on the night. And I would say, look, most of my hosts choose the mop, and I'll give her the mop. Or I would say maybe Angela doesn't want the mop and she would like to pamper herself and she would like some of the facial creams, and it's a way of bringing in a few extra products that you maybe haven't talked about, so we'll do that. But it's all stacking up, and then I'll say, and then if Angela has a few friends book a show, for every booking she'll get a window cloth, stack those up, and then I'll say, and there's more. Every month there's extra packages, and these change every month, but you get package A if you have one friend books a show and £300 of sales, and even a smaller show, you know, will get you that, and we'll stack those up for September, and then I'll do the same for the second one. So she's got this big stack of stuff, and you say, look, that's an average show. 12 to 15 people will get you all of that, and most of my hosts get between £200 and £300 if it's 12 to 15 people. And then I will say, and this is one thing I find very important, I say, so girls, if you're thinking at all about having a show tonight, and you know, I don't want you to feel under any pressure that you have to have one, and Rhoda wouldn't want you to feel that either. But if you've been sitting there thinking, yes, I would like to have a show, well then do make sure and tell me tonight, because then Rhoda will get those extra packages. Whereas if you come and you tell me in a week's time or a month's time, it's too late for Rhoda. So if you're thinking at all, we can chat it over and we can see what would work for you. Okay. Now the last thing that I want to do, girls, is just tell you about the best thing that I have to share tonight, and that is what I am doing. It's been a real blessing to my family, and I'm just really, really enjoying it, and I don't know if it would be of any help to you or to your family to get a bit of extra income and to do something like this. So what I want to do is, the last chance to get tickets, if you haven't already got them, is if you'd like to ask me anything at all about my job that you'd like to know. And you may just want to ask because you want to get a ticket, Carla, maybe, but also, if you know of anybody who might be interested in this, you want to ask a question on their behalf. So does anybody have a question that they'd like to ask me? Carl?
How much do you earn?
How much do I earn? Yes, that's the most important question, isn't it? Absolutely. And so it's very well paid, I have to say, Carl, because on top of the actual money you get loads of free products and stuff as well, which is fantastic. But you start with 25%, okay? So for me, an average show will be £600 or £700. So 25% of that, you can do the maths, and what would you get? Put me on the spot now.
How much was your show?
£150. So you know, with an average show I'd be earning 150. But even if your show was half of that, even if your show was £300 or £400, you know, you're still bringing home about £100 in the night. And that's if you're on 25% commission. Actually, if you do about 3 shows in a month, you'll probably be on 30% commission, so you earn even more. So it works out about £25 an hour, which is pretty good pay for a flexible job that you can work around your family and your other job, and you know, whatever you need to work it around. Okay. So basically, they asked me, what were your questions? Just tell me. I would get. How many shows do I do?
Do you not travel too much?
Traveling.
What do you know what to say?
Training, so I cover all of those. The cards, just to say, I now don't hold the cards throughout the whole show, but at the end, I most certainly will come back and I will say, you know, because some people say, how do you remember what to say? And I say, look, Norwex give you everything, you have the cards. So my first few shows, I read everything, and I did, dropped them all over the floor. Sue was there at the first show, and you know, nervous and all the rest of it, and so I let them know that the cards are there. I show them the file with all the stuff that you get, and I tell them about team meetings and the webinars and everything else. So I just answer all their questions. I do about 5 questions, and then there's five tickets. And I say, if you want to know any more, absolutely talk to me at the end of the night. So we've done that, give out tickets, and the last thing then is that, so girls, I'm just going to give you out a catalogue and a little clipboard. So this is the way I just bring those 2 things, catalogue and clipboard, obviously with my name on. And I say, when you're looking through the catalogues, girls, can I just draw you back to the packages again, just remind you about those. So there's packages at the back, and as I said, they will save you money. So there's the basic pack with the 2 claws, the 2 cleaning claws, and there's the one for you, Carol, the rainbow package with all your different colour claws. And if any of you are thinking of the washing powder, there's a fantastic packet with the washing powder, the stain remover, and tumble dryer balls if you have a tumble dryer, and that again saves you more money. I have to say my most popular package would be the Safe Haven package, because it probably has everything in it tonight that you're sitting here thinking that you would like. It has the washing powder, the body cloths, the cleaning cloths, the paste, the dusting mitt, the tea towel, the dishcloth, a really good package to get you up and going chemical free. And again, it saves you about £13 for that package. So have a wee look at the packages whenever you get the catalogue. And finally then, if you are wanting to order, and remember again, there's no obligation whatsoever. If you do want to order something, you can pay by cash or cheque or credit card. But what I would really ask girls is that you fill in the little boxes on the side of the order form for me. I'd really appreciate if you took the time to do that. It just asks you 3 questions. It asks you, would you be interested in getting the Norwex newsletter, which will be up and running in the new year sometime, and that'll keep you up to date with all the products and new products and things. Or if you'd be interested in having an evening yourself, again, pop it down, tick it if you're sure you want to have one, and if you're not sure and you want to ask me stuff, just put a wee question mark, that's absolutely fine. And finally then, it asks you if you'd be interested in doing what I'm doing, and if you'd like to know more about that as well, I would love to share that with you. So just tick the little boxes and then we can chat at the end of the night. But listen, thank you so much for coming, I really appreciate it, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And feel free to come up and look at any of the products at any stage and ask me any other questions that you have, okay? Sorry, I wasn't tired.
In the field, that was the one job I dreaded. I hated people asking me to do it, and I have to say I think it is the hardest job of all, because the person standing up here doing this knows that you all do the same. So I think, Karen, you did a truly phenomenal job of helping people here. Her show now 3 times, and I could watch it 3,000 times. I think she's absolutely brilliant. You learn a lot. I can see why her sales are so huge. She talks from her heart. She's genuine. She's done her research. She connects with her audience, and everything she tells you, you take on board, don't you? She's a true professional, and she deserves every penny of sales that she does, because she's brilliant and she's creating all those safe havens. Just amazing, Karen. Amazing. I know she will laugh at this, but every time I see her, I talked about this. Near my home, there's a bus stop. And the very first conversation I had with Karen about Norwex was in that bus stop. She was ringing me and I pulled her. We've been trying to speak for a while. She said, I don't know, so I just don't get it. I'm just not so sure, but I do want to come. And then about 2 days later, I will be back in that bus stop speaking to Karen again. Every time we spoke, I seemed to be in this bus stop. So now every time I go past that bus stop, I call it the Karen bus stop. And every time I go past it, I think of you, and wow, how we've transformed from the first call to every time I drive past that now. You are amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you to your amazing guests.
Thank you.
Very well behaved, weren't they?
Can I say one last thing, because I totally forgot, you might be wondering. The tickets there, I've always done that. I've always give out the tickets, and then at the end I very boringly just picked out a couple of tickets and just let them have the prizes, whoever won it. But thanks to Joe, we didn't get to do it. I played Joe's game. I don't call it what Joe calls it, but you can ask her that later. But what I do is then, as Joe had told me, you pull out the tickets to the first, and I always give away a body cloth as one of them, and I tell them you can only keep it if you're prepared to go and wash your face and whatever. So if you don't want the body cloth, don't pick it if you don't want to go and wash your face. But I pull out 3 tickets. The first 3 get the 3 products I'm going to give away. Then number 4 ticket, she gets to pinch off one of the first 3, and number 5 ticket gets to pinch again, and they keep pinching, and it's the last 3 tickets that are drawn out are actually the people who win it. And it's so funny, Joe, it is amazing. It really ends the show on a real good laugh and really good atmosphere. So thank you for that, because it's made a big difference to my shows, but that's what I do.
Thank you, ladies, and thank you once again to Karen.
Thank you.